Wife came out as asexual after 15 years of marriage. Dear Billy Blue Balls, I've been a fan of yours since Chappelle Show days, but new to the podcast. Last Christmas, my wife came out as asexual. Parentheses, fuck you 2020. She said sex has always been a chore. She's not doing it anymore, and I can handle it myself from now on. Wow. We talked about options, and she doesn't mind oral a couple times a month, but that didn't last. The last time we had any kind of intercourse was back in July on our 15th wedding anniversary. She said, I know you're expecting something, so let's get this over with, and proceeded to just lay there. Wow. In September, I was rubbing her back, and she just turned off her table lamp and leaned more into it. I pressed my luck and kissed her on the shoulder. She jumped out of bed and slept on the couch for the next 3 nights. I gave it another couple days and said, we need to talk. She said she felt sexually assaulted. Okay, well, if I was you, I'd go to the luggage store. I'd pick out myself a nice set, and I would fucking fill those things, and I would just leave. She then accused me of being very selfish because I hadn't checked in on how she's been feeling since her revelation. This is true, but what is there to check in on? She seems to have found herself while I have basically lost an appendage. She's expecting you to do all of the fucking work, to respect where she is, and she's not even considering the fact that you just found out that she's been living a lie for 15 fucking years of your life. And of course, you have to take her into consideration. Listen, I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to put yourself in her shoes, but if she's not going to do it the other way after she lied to you for 15 years, then, what are we doing here? Anyways, he said, I mentioned opening up our marriage, and she just shut that down because she claims I would be spending all my free time looking for other women, ignoring our family. She offered me articles about marriage between sexual and asexual partners, and basically the sexual spouse has to live as asexual too, which I find to be very one-sided, as you should. As she would, if it was the other way around. She says, I can leave at any time, and I asked her if she had really thought that through and what it would do to the kids. Yeah, this seems like a loophole to get out of the marriage. We have 3 kids, 11, 9, and 5. Her reply was very matter of fact. We've been married for 10 plus years, so I am entitled to half your retirement, and I'm the primary caregiver, so get out of the house. I'm not going to lie, I could have strangled her in that moment, but I went for a walk to cool off. Yeah, I mean, she's really coming at you with just no feelings at all. I never thought I would be in this position, considering a separation, and the guilt of what it will do to the kids is killing me. I'm trying not to become resentful, but her my way or the highway mentality really makes that difficult. Obviously, I'm not going to force her to do something she doesn't want to do, but I'm only 42 years old. You spent a small fortune on therapy. Let's, hear your thoughts on this. I mean, she's a first ballot Hall of Fame cunt. To just be honest with you, I mean, she has the way you're writing this, she has no consideration for your feelings whatsoever and is upset with you that you can't read her mind. She doesn't care that she's been lying to you for 15 years. She doesn't give a fuck about her behavior, what it's going to do to her kids. She's all about herself. And it's not going to get any better. And it seems like she's going to be... What does primary caregiver mean? Does that mean she makes more money than you? Let me see. I got to get this through. What does primary caregiver mean? It's a person assisting an underage child or a sick, elderly, or disabled relative. Any adult can become a primary caregiver for a relative in need, regardless of education. Okay, so she's the one taking care of the kids. So I'm entitled to half your retirement. This is what happened. Okay, she lied to herself for a long time about who she was. Okay? And she went along with what society said. She had to get married and have kids. And she never wanted to do it. All right? And she made that choice. And now she's blaming you. And she's taking no fucking personal responsibility for the fact that she lied to you and started a family with you. And now you have all of this connection. And in the process of lying to you is now going to take half of your retirement and feels that she deserves that because she lied to you. Now, here's the thing. Unfortunately, she has a vagina, which means she's going to go to court and she's going to fucking win. So what you have to do is get the fuck out of this. All right? And all you have to do is work on maintaining a positive relationship with your kids. Never badmouth this cunt. Okay? Never badmouth her to your kids. All right? When they get older, they're going to figure out who she is. Okay? And, I don't know. Is she entitled to half your retirement? I don't know about that. I have no idea. But I know your kids are 11, 9, and 5. So you're going to have to pay child support for the next 13 years. And you're just going to have to man up and just realize that that's what you're going to have to do. Okay? And she can take half your retirement, and she can take the house, and she can do all of that shit. But she can't take your happiness unless you let her. And you can go out there as a 42-year-old. All right? And go out there and you can find a woman that actually deserves you, because this woman doesn't. And I'm sorry that this happened to you. And, I don't know. The only empathy I can have for this woman is maybe, society looks down on asexual people, so she felt she had to do this thing. I don't know. But the fact that she's fucking angry at you is ridiculous. She owes you an apology. Unless, you're some overbearing son of a bitch. And I can't tell that in your email. I have no fucking idea. But if you're just being a husband and you're thinking she's loving you and enjoying having sex with you, I don't know. I'm not even convinced that she's fucking asexual. Okay? Maybe she is. But, when you fucking get out of this thing, if you decide to, because, listen, I'm not an expert on this shit. I'm just fucking... This is just barroom fucking advice. All right? Brace yourself that there's another guy. There's a possibility of that. But what you are in, the way you have described it, is unfucking winnable. Like when you a team just realized, we're not going to win a championship this year, and they just dump all their stars. This is what you got to do. You just got to pack it in. You ain't winning the title this year. But, 42 is plenty of time to turn this whole fucking thing around. And if you just really work on that, and like I said, stay positive with the kids and never badmouth your ex, you can turn this whole thing around, and then it just becomes a funny story. And I got to be honest with you, here's a positive thing. Who the fuck is going to top this story in a bar? When guys start telling I dated this chick, she fucking did this and that. Oh, yeah? I was married for 15 years, and my wife out of nowhere told me she was asexual. And fucking, I went to kiss her shoulder, and she accused me of sexual assault. And then said she was entitled to half my retirement. And she's going to take the fucking house. I'm sure you could tell it in a funnier way. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel for you, man. That's fucking terrible. That's fucking terrible. Man, there's just so much shit people go through. We have a woman, she loses weight, she looks good, she feels good about herself, and then people stop fucking using her because they can't fucking handle that she's in shape. I swear to God, man. I swear to God. Every time I start to turn the corner and I start to think positive about life and people, you guys write in, you send me these fucking stories. I just don't get it. All right, overrated relationships. Do I really want to read this one with you here? Can you come near the microphone and be a friggin' professional in this unprofessional show?
I know, you're just sitting
Why
there with no
are you
furniture.
wearing moccasins?
They're my slippers.
They're moccasins.
Yeah, moccasin slippers.
Hiya. You got a little Indian blood in you, don't you?
I don't.
Yes, you do.
I have like
16. What do you got? Black feet in you? You get it? Nothing? I get nothing on that?
That was stupid.
You know what?
What?
Go fuck yourself. Here we go. Relationships. So, sure, they can be good, but are they ever great? Every married guy I know reminisces about his days as a single man. Married guys warn single guys not to get into relationships. They warn guys with girlfriends to never, under any circumstances, get married. This is all true. When you're single, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Whatever you want without first... Let me get this closer. Without first filtering your decisions through the desires of a chick who probably doesn't even know what she wants most of the time and is motivated by the worldview of Sex in the City.
Wow, this person sounds like a real prize.
Yeah, but this is true, though. This isn't all women. A lot of women are fucking idiots, just like guys. Wouldn't you say most guys are fucking idiots?
I would, actually.
And aren't most people fucking idiots? Listen, we're all rapeable. But when we're talking...
All I know is that no one is unrapeable. All right, let's continue.
Okay. And I am as exotic as a grilled cheese sandwich. I think that might be an instant classic. There wasn't even tomato in that sandwich, was there? Even when the chicks get what they think they want, they're usually still miserable. That's how stupid most of them are. All right, now he's in my school. He's in my quad. I like this guy. You're never going to make them happy, so why even try? Not being constrained by a relationship is one of the greatest things of all time. It's a man's world. Women need men more than men need women. Most men can thrive alone. Most women can't. He's young. You can tell he's young. He hasn't, like, women are still looking at him.
He's a fucking idiot is what he is.
No, he isn't. He's learning. I was this guy. Then you realize at some point you're old and women don't care anymore, so you got to grab one and just hang on to them and drag them down with you. Most women can't. Ask any honest bisexual girl, and she'll tell you that she wants to end up with a man. Jesus, this guy just keeps... Every time I think he's gone as far as he's going to go, he keeps going. I love him. Enjoy being single. Unless you're a total fucking failure of a man, you'll almost always be able to get a girlfriend if you really want one. Realize, if you're past a certain age, dude, there's a certain amount of money you have to be making for that to continue to happen. And there's a fucking sadness to that life that I can't even begin to describe. Realize what a blessing your freedom is and never allow desperation to put you in chains. He's making some good points here. He definitely has some issues with women.
Some issues with women?
There's a lot of truth in that, Nia.
Enjoy dying alone, asshole.
Hey.
Well?
Listen, basically what you just said was that you're a dumb girl.
Why?
Because that's what he was attacking.
What do you mean? So
Is your world? Oh, we were almost out without an argument.
Why am I dumb?
Because he's attacking women whose worldview comes from Sex in the City.
Okay.
So somehow you got offended by that.
First of all, he's not just attacking women whose worldview is Sex in the City.
I think he is.
He's attacking all women. Read what he said.
Oh, I know. He was just
He didn't say some women.
He was just being silly.
He
was just being silly.
No.
You're right.
So
you're right.
Fuck that shit. Fuck it.
Look,
Fuck you.
No, his mother never hugged him. He's got issues.
That's not our fault.
What do you mean? Don't drag me into this. I relate to this guy.
I'm saying "are" as women. I'm speaking as women.
Well, why don't you just speak for yourself, you fucking delusional jackass? Who elected you?
You did. I'm sitting here, aren't I?
Well, you know, I didn't say to represent all women's.
I'm not representing all women's, but I think I can say with
Underwears.
some clarity that most smart women who see this would be like, "Go fuck yourself, you douche."
All right. Well,
also, can I just make a comment about the whole married versus unmarried thing? The grass is always greener on the other side. Single people who are alone look at couples, and they get a little twinge of like, "Oh, that's nice. I wish I had somebody to come home to at night that has my back no matter what." That's what you're missing, you short-sighted moron, is that you've got somebody who's there with you, who's going to take care of you, who's going to love you and protect you and have your back. It's not just about like being with someone just to be with someone.
We got it. Listen. How do you?
Why can't I respond to this person in the way that I want to?
Because you're being mean. This podcast.
I'm being mean.
This podcast.
This email is ridiculous.
This guy's crying out for help.
Whatever. Fine. Go on.
This podcast is not about being mean and taking shots at people who can't defend themselves.
I thought that's exactly what it was.
Took you long enough to figure that out. All right. No, but there's a great truth in what he's saying here is that a lot of people just jump in a relationship, and it's like relationships are fucking difficult.
Yes.
Okay? So you better pick the right person or you're going to be fucking miserable. So you are better off to be single and lonely rather than just being in some shit so you got somebody to fucking make brownies with. That's what he was trying to say.
Yeah, that's true, but he didn't say that. He ended up saying that most chicks are going to be miserable anyway, and they all have this stupid worldview. So
that's
why
true.
Bother?
Most women are going to be miserable, and they're never going to be fucking happy.
And
okay?
what are you basing this on?
You know something? You guys always say a good man is hard to find. That works both fucking ways.
I understand.
Well, then
this
is what. Well, this motherfucker hasn't found the one yet. So he's dating a bunch of
lashing out at everybody because he can't seem to figure out how to make a relationship work, and he can't find the value in the relationship. So automatically, it's not valuable.
First of all, the only person lashing out is you right now.
Well, I'm
you've
annoyed at
completely
this.
lost your temper. There's a guy here. He writes in. He's looking for a little bit of goddamn guidance.
No,
he wants some
for
advice.
Your approval. That's what
he got it. He's fucking hilarious.
Anyways, I mentioned a couple podcasts ago that my wife had gone rogue when it came to the DVR and all that, and I promised that I would talk to her about it with you guys. Hey, Nene! Your request on the podcast. Your presence is requested. See, this is why I don't do podcasts. I hate doing it when I fly. Yeah, you got a mic, you got everything. I got a baby. Here you go. All right, now we're going to have a nice measured conversation. You don't touch my luggage.
You don't have it, like, comfortable for guests right now.
Well, that's why I never have guests.
Hold on.
All right, she's got to do the whole thing here. Oh. Who's this other person? She wasn't booked. What's up, baby? How are you?
Hi. You want to do a podcast?
Come on, let's get into it.
Let me get her situated.
She's fine. She's full. She's changed. Anyways, Nia.
Yes.
You've gone rogue. You've gone rogue. First of all, welcome on the 10th anniversary week.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah.
That's
10
pretty
years.
incredible.
It is 10 years of running my yap. Had no idea where this was going to go, and now look at me. All these years later.
I remember
sitting in my jeans and T-shirt.
Yeah.
Exactly like I was 10 years ago. I have the exact same level of technology. I don't have a theme song. I haven't done anything.
Although you didn't have a soundboard and stuff before. You just used to I
used to call on the phone.
Yeah, you used to call on the phone.
Yep.
How did that work? You
called up some service.
Uh-huh.
I used to do it when I was on the phone. I would drive around and I'd be getting into arguments with other people in the cars, and I would be at the airport and I'd just make fun of people.
What gave you the idea to do a podcast? I mean, obviously it became a big thing 10 years ago, but was there somebody or something that happened that made you think, like, I need to get in on this?
You know, I feel like I didn't choose podcasting. I feel like podcasting chose me.
Yeah.
No, I was over Bobby Kelly's apartment.
Bobby,
right? I was over there, and he was like, dude, you should do a podcast. So he just set the thing up. Yeah, it was like Bobby Kelly shit. Bobby into technology. And I was like, me being the old crabby guy, even back then, go, dude, I don't want to do that stuff. Just set it up, dude. It's a good way to connect with your fans, bro.
And he was right.
Yes, he was. He was right. He was right on that one.
I remember you doing the podcast.
You know what he was wrong about? You know what Bobby Kelly was wrong about? The mini CDs.
Mini CDs.
Mini CDs, yeah. When there was regular size CDs, he talked me into getting a mini CD
I
recorder.
Remember those.
Yeah, like that was going to take off.
Yeah, no.
And then I had to buy the microphone that was set up like a little T. I followed him for like 2 months. I followed him down over the cliff of buying every piece of technology. And then I just went back to the way I was. So anyways.
Yes.
So, Neil, what's going on? You know, there's all these great shows out there that we used to watch together.
Well,
Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
Fargo. Meet Me at the Mall.
Good season so far.
Right? All of these great shows.
Yeah.
And you used to watch them with me, and now all of a sudden, not only do you not watch them with me, you kind of erase them or decide, it was some other show, not the shows I just mentioned. There was some other show we started to watch, and you decided that you were over it, and you just stopped recording it.
Okay. Probably because there's a way to watch it on like the Roku or on demand.
Not for me. I can't figure that out.
I have showed you that countless times.
I know.
I can show you again, but I'm not going to keep
Hey, how many times have I told you how to shut the water off when there's a flood in the house? There's certain things that we're good at. Huh? Oh, you didn't like that, did you? No my eye contact? Really? Nia?
What?
What didn't you like about that comment? Oh, this is getting real. This is like fucking some Wendy Williams shit right now. You stop staring at me like you're going to beat the crap out of me.
We're here to talk about the DVR and the TV show stuff.
We were. Are you throwing that other evidence out?
That's what my agent told me.
Is that what you're doing here? I thought that was totally.
For you to flip the script is not. That's not what I agreed to.
So white people do not flip the script. We have a misdirection. We changed the subject.
I didn't agree to this. I'm here to talk about television. And
you sound like Billy Bob Thornton on that radio show when he said, "Don't bring up my movie career. Just talk about my drum career."
That's right.
What's going on with you?
You
know what it is? You've changed.
But I'm not.
You've changed.
What do you mean I've changed?
You've changed. Well, first of all, one of the things that hasn't changed is your inability to talk into a microphone.
I'm sorry.
You love it just pointed at the side of your face. I'm just saying. Now that we got the little one here.
Yes. Well, here's the thing, Bill, is that you're running around all day. And so I'm here with her. And so I watch the shows then because it's like there's not really much to do. I'm just kind of breastfeeding all day. There's not a whole heck of a lot to do with her. So I watch it because you're busy. And then at night, when we do get time to watch stuff, you watch it for like 10 minutes and then you fall asleep.
That's because I get up at 7 in the morning to work out.
I understand that, but I don't get a chance to really.
Fair enough. Do you got to erase it? Do you got to erase it? Do you got to make the decisions on like what I get to watch now? That's it for you. If you turn on your Roku thing and download the new.
It's so simple. Like my mom does the Roku. Like it's that easy.
So's turning on and off a faucet outside the house.
All right. Well, this has been fun. I'm leaving.
You're not leaving. No one's ever walked off this show.
What if you walked off this show? Who are you, Letterman?
What are you doing right now? You keep belittling me of how easy it is to use Roku.
How is that belittling? I said it's easy. You're the one who doesn't have the patience.
That's not what you
to
said.
deal with
Now. You said.
What did I say?
You said even your mother can do it. You insulted me a little bit. You insulted me a little bit.
Why is my mother something that's... I'm saying she's not the best at technology, but she knows how to use it.
You know what you're saying.
It's easy is what I'm saying.
A lot of comedy in this? And I'm just
You are woefully misjudged how this was going to go. No, I know I went rogue. I know I did, but it's like, you know.
Here we go. 4 minutes in. All right.
I just can't sit around waiting for you to like watch 10. I got tired of watching episodes in 10-minute increments because you fall asleep. And what am I supposed to do? I'm not tired yet. I'm not tired yet. So I want to finish watching the show. I got to turn it off just because you fall asleep, and it takes 6 weeks to get through 2 episodes. That's insane.
I think you're exaggerating a little bit.
I am, but the point is that I'm not going to wait for your ass to watch shows anymore. It's just we're not on the same schedule. So it's not really practical for us to like watch TV together like that.
Okay.
So that part of our relationship is over.
Evidently it's over. All right. Well, here's the thing.
Yes.
Stop deciding, being judge, jury, and executioner on the death penalty for the shows that we record. Okay? And, what's weird is, I had all my Celtic games and Bruins games getting recorded.
I did not.
And for some reason, 3 times.
I didn't change
Can I finish the accusation?
I know.
3 times this season, I had to go back to start. I had season record. I had 3 times I had to go back and do it. And somehow that never seems to happen to your shows, only to my shows. So I can only surmise that the DVR doesn't like me.
I did not.
No eye contact.
Change. I will look right at you. I didn't change the recording series for your sports stuff.
You've never been in the middle of recording 2 things that you like at the same time, and it says, "Oh, there's not enough space. You need to stop recording on one thing," and you never chose my stuff over your stuff.
No, because it can record up to 5 things simultaneously.
All right, you're recording 5 things, and there's one more.
Have you gone through the DVR list? Have you noted that like 98% of it is your stuff?
It's a complete lie. You just pulled
it
that
is
percentage.
Not.
You want to bet?
Yes, I do want to bet.
I'll bet that right now.
Yeah.
I'll bet you what? What do you want to bet?
I don't know. What should we bet?
Well, you're the one who brought it up. No, I brought up the bet. Sorry, I'm out of it right now.
I don't know. Let's just make a gentleman's bet, okay?
Well, if I was dealing with a gentleman.
Oh, I'm a gentle woman. How about that? I'm a lady.
Not. You're hostile.
I'm a lady.
Erasing my stuff. I don't appreciate it.
Bill, you have
That's
Patriots
2000.
games. You have Patriots games from
Super Bowls!
from 3 years ago.
It's a Super Bowl. We won it.
But do you go back and watch it ever? Why is it sitting there?
Yeah, that's one thing.
I know, but it's like 4 hours.
It's a Super Bowl.
I know.
We beat the Seahawks.
Okay, but are you going to go back and watch it?
Eventually.
Okay.
But everything else is gone. All the Fast and Louds, I get rid of those. I've seen all of those. I get rid of all my Bruins and Celtics. I get rid of those.
There's a bunch of games, there's a bunch of sports-related documentaries and stuff that you haven't watched. Because you don't have time to watch a lot of the TV, which is fine, but I'm just saying that's the reason why I have decided to just press forward.
Okay, fair enough. Well, listen.
With the TV watching.
I wish you the best of luck in the future
Wait,
with
are you kicking me off
with your
the
TV
podcast
viewing.
now?
No, with your TV viewing. I enjoyed watching TV with you.
Oh.
And yeah, it's just an end.
So, okay, well then let's figure out a solution. Like, how can we get back on track? How can we get this part of our relationship back on track? This is like therapy.
I don't know.
What can we do in order to get on the same page?
Nah, look, if you're bored out of your mind during the day and you need to watch a good show, yeah, by all means do it, whatever. I just needed an explanation. I guess that's all right. I'll learn tell you what, I'll learn how to use the Roku, and you learn how to shut off the water the next time one of these old-ass pipes bursts. Why is that such a big deal, Nia?
Why do you keep bringing it up? And you're trying to, like, humiliate me and embarrass me?
This is why I'm bringing it up. Because every time you talk...
The last time we had something happen like that, I turned off the water. I did. And I called the plumbers, and they came the very next day. Yes, I did. So I'm tired of you making it seem like I don't know what the hell is going on. Okay? I was here by myself.
You didn't
I was
turn
here
it
with
off.
the baby. Yes, I did.
You turned it off under the sink.
I did.
Under the sink, you turned it off.
Yeah, I did. And that immediately...
That's not the house.
The crazy-ass flooding that was going on. That I cleaned up by myself.
I
with
must
the
have
baby.
walked you
I was
out
here
there
all
20
along.
times. It's a little valve. It's blue. It's the color of water.
I
you just pull it down.
Why?
If Roku was that easy, I could do it.
I forgot to do that part, okay?
I know, but that's the most...
And I called the plumber, and they told me that it was fine, and it was fine.
I know, because we got lucky. It's not like you made a judgment call going, it's coming from there. I would take it out from the front of the house. You didn't do it.
You don't know what I was going through. You weren't here.
I saw it in your face.
And all you do whenever stuff like that happens, when you're on the road,
yelling.
is give me shit. No, I will not. You just give me shit about it over and over again instead of being like, I understand. You were alone. You were panicked. You don't handle the situations. Thank God everything was okay. Thank God you're okay. Thank God the baby's okay.
Well, Jesus Christ, that dam didn't break.
No, it's all
Are we
about
gonna drown?
everything that I did wrong and how I didn't act the way you would have acted.
You know what I think we learned here?
That.
You know what I think we learned here?
I don't appreciate it.
Okay,
I don't appreciate it.
You know what I think? You know what
okay?
it is? You guys listening
Is this
right
what
now?
you wanted? You wanted me to flip out?
Are you not entertained? Here's the thing.
Keep poking me about it. That was months ago now. Like, let it go.
You have completely lost your composure.
Yeah, because you're pissing me off.
All right. You know what I learned in this conversation?
Nothing, knowing you.
Ooh. A little zinging from Nia. I have learned that I'm a little bit better at handling criticism than you are.
No, you are not.
Listen.
No, you are the most sensitive jackass I've ever met in my entire life.
But I only took it, okay, fair enough, but I only took it to tit for tat. You said Roku.
Oh, and so you're petty too.
Okay, so I'm petty, but I mean, I'm not the one yelling and flipping out here.
I am a passionate person, and when I am feeling a certain way,
stop with the euphemisms.
I'm letting it go. That's not a euphemism.
Yes, it is.
You don't even know what a euphemism is.
Yes, it is. It's a nicer word for being a douche. Instead of saying, hey, listen to me. Instead of saying...
Did you just snap at me?
Yes, I did. Just like, you know who.
Two rights don't make... Wait, no. Two wrongs don't make a right.
All right, you're right.
Rights don't make... Wait, no. Two wrongs don't make a right.
All right, you're right. No, it's like instead of saying shell-shocked, you say post-traumatic stress disorder. Instead of saying innocent people died, you say collateral damage. That's a euphemism.
Oh.
All right?
Okay.
So there you go. Instead of saying that you're an angry lunatic, you say you're passionate.
I'm not. You're the angry lunatic. I think we can all agree. Not me. I am not. I am the steady, easy one.
Oh, yeah, really? Yeah.
Yeah,
We've seen
you're
that.
the crazy one.
Do you remember when I had to threaten to, like, if you hit me one more time during an argument, I'm not going to go out with you anymore? When I met you, you were
I was in a very
you were a
different
thrower
phase of my life.
and you were a hitter. Oh my God, you got to run for office. You got an answer for everything.
I was young and I was
were passionate.
immature.
You were immature.
I was young and immature, and I didn't know how to handle my emotions, and I do now.
Okay. All right. Why don't you just check yourself into rehab? That's the other tap out way. Oh, I punched him in the face. I need to go to rehab.
I never punched you in the face.
Yes, you did.
To stop
you did it on Valentine's Day.
I didn't punch you in the face.
Yes, you did.
Not in the face.
In the face.
Yes, in the face.
In the face.
In the face.
You did. You did.
I didn't punch you in the face.
Yeah, no. I took you to that fancy-ass sushi restaurant. We were living in New York. I took you down to that thing.
Oh,
and
God.
the dude from the phone booth movie was there. Right? Oh, I'm in a phone booth. They won't let me leave.
Colin Farrell.
Right. He's in that fucking thing, that nice low-budget movie. The whole movie takes place in a phone booth. We love it. Low budget. Cute Irish guy, right?
Movie was ridiculous.
Well, you wouldn't know that when the way you were looking at him in the sushi restaurant. You just kept looking at the guy, which was fine for the first, 10 minutes. Then after a while, you're just looking at another guy while I'm paying 10 times what sushi should cost.
You
were
are
too
so
dumb.
exaggerating what happened. I wasn't staring at Colin Farrell the entire
When are you
time.
going to validate my feelings? Nia, I believe there was a song written about everything you've said on this podcast back in the 80s. It went something like this. Lies, 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 yeah. Lies, 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 yeah. The bigger, the better. I believe that was the Thompson Twins.
How long had we been dating before that incident?
I don't know, but what ended up happening was I got in the cab and I bonded with the cab driver and I just said, hey, buddy, let me ask you a question. Stuck my big head through that stupid little window. I go, if you took your woman out on Valentine's Day for sushi, All right, famous guy walks in. How long do you give her to look at the famous guy
So
before,
you
after a while?
Farming out our issues to the public for that long?
Wow, I never thought of it that way.
What do you mean farming it out?
I don't know what I mean.
I had to get some sort of victory out. I was trying to make
dirty laundry.
No, I was trying to make you as upset as you made me, and I did it a little too well, because by the end of the night we were back in the apartment, and you came running out of the bedroom because of course I'm sleeping on the couch. Of course I'm sleeping on the couch. I wasn't looking at anybody else, and I paid for the meal. Of course I end up on the couch, and. You said something like that. Something about bitching or something. I said, yeah, well, you're acting like one. And I never called you that word. And all of a sudden I heard just 2 little feet hit the floor.
That was not
and you went,
the word
don't.
in question. That
What
was
was it?
not the word in question, and you know it.
Was it douchebag?
No, it was not. And you were saying, why do you
Were
gotta
you
act
speaking
like,
to the microphone?
Why you gotta act like such a you-know-what? And I lost
No,
my
I didn't.
shit.
No,
Yes,
I didn't.
You did.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. This is what I said. What did I say? I would never say... No, because that's calling you one, which I've never done. Never did that.
Yeah, you kind of did in there one time.
No, I didn't.
You know, you like to disguise it behind acting like a. See, this is the thing.
Can I tell you something, Nia? Can I tell you something, Nia?
You're acting like a. I didn't say you were a. You're acting like a.
Fair enough. But here's the thing, Nia. I've been with you for 14 years. You have 2 incidents. Despite your behavior. How many times, you know what? For those 2 incidents, how many times did you hit me? Remember that time you came in, you threw my laundry all over the living room? You freaking psycho.
Yeah, I remember that.
Bunch of fluffy white socks and underwear, like, oh my God. Another example of your passion. I've showed unbelievable restraint dealing with a woman like you. Oh, yeah.
A woman like me?
Yes. Yes.
Well, congratulations. You got a beautiful baby out of it. Aw. That's right. Oh, we had a good time.
Yeah, we had a nice run. Now it's all about her, and evidently we're just going to be watching separate stuff on TV.
No, we can't be that couple. We have to, still remain a tight
I have to be honest with you, most times I fall asleep at night because you're watching those women yelling at each other. I hate those shows.
No, I know. I know that, but we could be watching anything and you'll fall asleep because you do. You get up super early. You're really busy throughout the day. It makes sense. So I get why you fall asleep, but I'm just saying, it's hard to watch a TV show with you that way. That's it.
Okay. All right. Listen, it was nice talking to you. I'll,
Is that it? Do I have to leave now?
Well, I mean, I got to read some advertising if you want to sit here and listen to that.
Oh, Jesus.
I know. You don't listen to me read out loud.
Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Why are we doing that?
Because it's your podcast anniversary.
I thought you were mocking the end of our TV relationship.
Podcast anniversary.
What? You just go podcast anniversary.
I know. I don't know why I still can't hold the microphone in my hand.
Well, you know what, Nia? Here's to another 10 years of you not speaking into the mic.
Do you think you're going to be doing the podcast 10 years from now?
Absolutely. I will only be doing the podcast. I won't be acting anymore. I won't be touring. I won't be watching TV.
Not with me, you won't.
I will just be sitting in the room doing that stuff, No, I'll be hanging out with this little
dumpling.
cutie pie. Huh?
Yeah.
What's up, buddy? Huh? I get a smile? Are you in a contemplative moment? All right, that's it. Hey, I have to do my official sign-off here, and I can't do it in front of the kid, even though I dropped the F-bomb a couple of times. All right, Nia, give me your microphone that you don't talk into. And, I don't know, why don't you go watch something and erase it?
Yeah, so anyway, one time there was this transvestite, and Patrice was holding court in front of the cellar, and I believe he was kicked out of the cellar at that point, but they couldn't stop him from hanging out there because upstairs was a restaurant. It was like this technicality, and I think they also knew that if Patrice hung out at the Boston Comedy Club, we all would have just done our sets and gone over to the Boston because you had to be around him. So he's sitting there, and he's trashing everybody, and all of a sudden this transvestite came down the street, and I don't know what the fuck he said to her, But she just stopped in her tracks, and she was all about it. And she got right in his grill. He was sitting down, of course, as always. And she was standing up, he, she, whatever the fuck you say. And they just started going at it. And I remember one of the first ones she hit him with, and she wasn't scared at all. She hit him with, like, what he told us was an old street joke. But she said that he had so many spaces between his teeth, it looked like his tongue was in jail. And we all were like, wow, we all died laughing, right? And Patrice goes, that's a stock line. And he sized her up in 2 seconds. Was like, all right, so this girl, she knows a bunch of fucking street jokes. So what he did was he threw like a light one, an easy one, and then he just like Ali laid back on the ropes, let her get like her next 3 fucking. I bought a Snaps book,
Yeah,
and then he just started in on her and fucking just totally turned, because I was like, oh my god, Patrice is gonna lose to a fucking transvestite. This is great. You know. And then all of a sudden he turned it around, and I'm telling you, they just went blow for blow. And like I'm telling you, some of the funniest comics in New York at that country at that point were some of the funniest ones in the country, I feel. And we became audience members, and we shut up. A comedian, we all shut up and sat there and just watched them volley back and forth. And Patrice finally, started turning the tide. So she started walking away, was still running her mouth. She never quit, but she left. And I remember Jeff Ross looked at me and just shook his head after it and said, that's the most unbelievable fucking thing I've ever seen. And I was just like, it was one of those things, you saw it, and as a performer, you wish you did it.
Yeah.
The same way you saw Eddie Van Halen, you'd listen to him play guitar and you'd be driving in your car fantasizing that you were doing it. Like,
or no. The equivalent to any, especially any comic listening to this right now, is you in Philly.
Oh, that's it.
That's one of those moments where I saw it and I went, oh, I wish that had been me. I would have never been able to do that.
And that's how performers look at that shit. And that's one of the highest compliments. So I really appreciate that.
I'm telling you, I literally.
Well, if you watch that
I thought you were gonna say, if you want, just go perform in Philly.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, just go out. Yeah, show any sort of weakness in the anywhere in Philly. But when you watch me when I yell at the DJ, like I'm trying to fucking work something out here.
Yeah.
He was actually relaying something Patrice said, because all the comics came to the side of the stage and were watching it by the end.
Yeah.
And he yelled out "Invincible." That's what he yelled out.
Oh.
Which would have been perfect, because I would have been like, your fucking Eagles suck so bad. Some guy from a bar gets a tryout on your team. Not only gets a tryout, he makes your fucking team and has an impact, right? Like, I could have gone on forever, but I didn't. Like, I was so in attacking anything that talked to me.
Yeah.
And I always felt bad because the DJ, and because he kind of pointed over at Patrice, which was funny because me and Patrice weren't really talking at that time because we had that big fucking battle on O&A because of that fucking idiot radio show.
Yeah.
And that Philly thing was the first time we were backstage. We actually started like fucking talking again like friends. Cause
I heard that live, that you and Patrice, you were on the phone, right?
Yeah. And that's the worst thing about the internet. It was like a 3-month fight in our relationship, but it lives on forever.
Yeah.
And people still ask me about that. And it was just, we were doing this guy's show, and the guy was just, the second I walked into the studio, he was just giving me shit. And I was thinking like I remember I came walking in the studio, and and they'd already given me a water. And so like one of the guys working on the show goes, Bill, anything else you need or anything? I was like, no, I got a water. I'm good. All I need is some headphones. And he turns around and goes, we'll get you some cans. We'll get you some cans.
Who was this guy? Don't say it, because maybe I might be friends with him.
I don't want to. All you got to do is listen to the thing. You'll hear who the fuck it is. I don't name names, right? So then I was just like, whoa. And he just kind of kept coming at me like that. So I thought it was like, okay, this guy thinks maybe I'm coming in from New York, so I think I'm better than him.
Yeah.
So I thought like this was some little hazing thing, like, okay, this guy's going to break my balls for a couple of breaks, and once I show that I have a sense of humor about myself, he's going to warm up. He never did. And in the middle of it, Patrice called in, and he accidentally cursed, and I'm giving him shit for cursing or whatever, but I'm doing it more in like that cellar, hanging out in front of the sound, you big stupid this isn't satellite radio, blah blah. But then, man. I know.
Yeah,
I already said it.
As soon as you said it, I went.
Yeah, he fucking hung up on him, and I didn't realize he hung up on him. But even then, I was just looking like, who gives a fuck? I didn't think it was that big a deal. And the episode ended like 2-3 hours later. The episode ends, And at the end of the episode, it was right when my HBO special came out, and the guy was like on the air trashing, like making fun of my special. Like, so what do you got going on? And I was like, I got a half hour coming out on HBO. And I just came out on HBO. And he goes, really? I haven't heard anything about it. Something like that. And I was like, well, it's doing real well. And he goes, whatever. And it was one of those things, the second the show ends, he goes, hey, did you have a good time? And it's just like, yeah, man, I had a great time. All right, see you next time. Fucking whatever. What was that?
Yeah.
And it was after the episode. That's when me and Patrice first got into a fight, because I got off and all it was a message going, yeah, that guy's a dick, man. Give me a call. So I called him up, and I didn't realize that he was really upset by it. So I came at him in seller mode.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Just kind of do this and blah, blah, blah. And then I go, he hung up on you, jackass, or something. And he was like, a lot of people don't know, he was really a sensitive guy. So that's what started off. So then he goes on Opie and Anthony, and then that started the whole, you don't tell me I taught you to do this. And then my ego goes, what you fucking taught me to trash people?
Yeah.
Fucking met you when I was 25. I live in a quarter of a cent. And then it just was, and it was literally like, you know, two fucking pit bulls in a ring. That wham 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 bam 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 boop 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 boop. Oh my God! Ooh 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 ooh. All right, 27-year-old virgin. Jesus Christ! Hey Billy, I'd love to hear your humorous take on my pathetic situation. First of all, dude, let's work on your self-esteem. All right, you're already shitting all over yourself. All right, watch this guy. Watch him shit all over himself. I'm a 27-year-old virgin. Oh, Jesus. That's what he wrote. Now, your first question is going to be, how the fuck did that happen? Well, to protect myself, I'd actually prefer to keep my background as quiet as possible. Hey, I'm not trying to get you to rat yourself out. Here's what I can say. I come from a rich town inhabited by obnoxious cunts. I was always the weird kid and very socially awkward. People hated me no matter how nice I was. Jesus Christ, dude, are you like a superhero? That's like the exact same background of like every fucking superhero movie, isn't it? It's probably because nerds write those movies. Because they don't know how to fight, and all of a sudden they're like, what if I knew how to fight? What if I could fly? What if there was a guy who could save me? And then they draw it. And then nerds line up around the block to go see it. Dude, you see the new Spider-Man? Yes, it's exactly like the other ones. I was always the weird kid and very socially awkward. People hated me no matter how nice I was, and eventually I came to hate myself and still do. I called it. Dude, I fucking called it. He's shitting all over himself. Eventually, it was discovered that I most likely have a mild case of Asperger's syndrome, which is a mild form of autism, which is way out of my league. Are you guys trying to make me look dumb? I thought I did that. I achieved that by how awful I read out loud. Here we go. That causes social ineptitude and quirky personality traits. Well, I would go find a hooker with Asperger's. That's the first thing I would do. And get the fucking V off my back. Definitely wear a condom. See, that's where my advice is going to be coming from. You guys have some weird conversation in some ironic vehicle. At least discovering this made me more of self-aware, and I've been able to clean up my act over the last few years. But I still have a lot of social anxiety and shyness and very few friends. On the flip side, I'm actually pretty decent looking. Have a decent job in a laboratory. He's a fucking... This guy, he's going to get bit by something radioactive, and he's going to become a superhero. And I'm a certified commercial pilot and do volunteer work. Dude, like, you know something? If I was in the FBI, like, so many fucking red flags just went up there. Okay, that's the setup now. Now for the question. First, what the fuck would you do if you were in my situation? I told you, I'd get a hooker with Asperger's syndrome, and you guys could just bond over that. I don't know. Let me read all your questions. I'm obviously kidding about trying to find a hooker with Asperger's syndrome, all right? You couldn't find one. That would be like a needle in a haystack. What you'd have to do is go to an escort service and request that personally. I would think. I'm looking for 36, 24, 36 with Asperger. Hair color does not matter. Yes, I can hold. Next, if eventually I ever do make it anywhere with a chick? Should I tell her up front about my status? I had this conversation a few weeks ago with a friend who has a lot of romantic experience, and she said it would be extremely obvious that I'm new to the game and that withholding that information could itself be detrimental. But I also know that if I do tell a chick I'm 27-year-old virgin, she will demand an explanation before going any further, and it will send up red flags for the most. What do you do, Bill? Thanks for doing your awesome podcast, and go fuck yourself. All right, this is what I would do. I would just start hitting on every chick that fucking interests me, and I would be just totally honest. Tell her what your situation is, and if she doesn't accept it, then fuck her, let her walk, and then you don't have to deal with any of the bullshit. You just fast forwarded through a 3-year fucking horrific relationship. I would just be upfront with people. I wouldn't open it with, "Hey, you have beautiful eyes, and I have Asperger." I wouldn't do that. I would work on my self-esteem. I wouldn't talk shit. You shit on yourself right out of the gate. I mean, obviously, I knew you were going to do that when you said you were a 27-year-old virgin, and you're probably going to go that route. But think good thoughts about yourself, man. I know that's kind of like simple, but you gotta amp yourself up a little bit. Go out there and, you don't have to go find the chick of your dreams, but just go out. You don't got to tell some girl you got fucking Asperger's syndrome. You don't. Why don't you just do that with somebody that you're really interested in? But if you just want to go out and get laid, just go out there, start hitting on chicks, turn it into a game. So you don't have to deal with the pain of the rejection. Just be like, all right, I don't have the balls to take the next step. Whatever that step is, peeling yourself off the fucking wall, striking up a conversation, just saying hello to a pretty girl as she walks down the street. Just try to get over that fucking hurdle and give yourself permission to suck, and you gradually build it up. It's like learning how to play guitar. You're not going to pick it up and immediately be able to play all your songs. You learn a couple of fucking chords, then your fingers hurt, right? And you get frustrated, but you keep coming back, and eventually you can fucking play. Pussy is no different. That's what I would do. Put the Asperger on the back burner. Who knows, dude? Maybe you're not as fucked up as you think you are. Socially. You know what I mean? Maybe you got a sense of humor under that. I think you do. You shit on yourself in a funny way. Spin it around that way. Do you have any interests? Go to a fucking, I don't know, whatever. Do you fly kites? Go to some flying the kite convention. There's got to be some woman there who also likes kites. I know that was an overly simplified thing, but that's what I would do. All right? And then when you go to hook up with somebody, and they, tell them if you don't know what you're doing too. Watch a couple of fucking pornos. You'll get the idea. Actually, no, don't do that. Don't do that, because then you'll fucking start slapping them around. Yeah, don't do that. I don't know what to tell you, dude. Buy some books. There you go. Buy some books in that part of the bookstore that, if bookstores exist anymore, go online. There's got to be plenty of information. I bet if you literally looked up finger banging technique, if you looked how to kiss, I bet there's just going to be reams of fucking information. I've never done that because I never had to. Oh, just kidding. Of course I had to. You think that I didn't wish that fucking information was around? Way back in the day when you had no idea, you just practiced kissing your fucking pillow and tried to overhear conversations in the fucking high school cafeteria and try to figure out what people were talking about. That's all I could do. You have the whole world at your fingertips, So when you're done in the laboratory working with radioactive shit before you get bit by something, why don't you go out and get laid before you learn how to fly? All right? All right.
I kind of scrolled through some of these. These seem a little intense this week, so let me get a little sip of water here. Oh, that's delicious. That is delicious. Oh, by the way, so I went to the gym, I went with a personal trainer, and I had a great workout, and then the next day my shoulder was bugging me. I was like, God damn it, is this ever going to end? But I rolled it out, and after 2 days, it felt fine. And yesterday I went to the gym. It was time to do upper body again. I did upper body again, and it felt totally fine. And I think I'm finally going to push through. I finally have enough free time, and I also am finally not going to try to increase the weight too fast, and I'm going to get over this thing. And
I'm back to doing lat pull downs with 50 pounds. All I need to do is just slowly work my way to about 100 and 110 pounds, 3 sets of 15, and I'll be able to do a pull-up again. And then I can not lose my bet with Paul Verzi that I'll be able to do 10 pull-ups when I'm 70 years old. And I will be able to do that. I'm not going to cheat either. Okay? I'm going Aaron Judge on this shit. I'm going totally clean. But I'm not doing 62 pull-ups. I'm doing 10. All right. Art Vandals. That's a good name for a band. Art Vandals. There's a band called the Vandals. Art Vandals. Dear Bill, I'm a 27-year-old lady, 27-year-old girl. My friends consider me meek and polite. I always tell them on the inside, it's more like Bill Burr in here. Oh, yeah. You're going to, in your 30s, people are going to say, what happened to you? If you're like me. I don't have a lot of anger pent up, but certain things in life ignite the flames in me. Notice how she didn't say ignite the flame in me. She said ignite the flames in me, which means she got a little temper there. I never thought I'd write into the podcast, but my anger this week... I love how you say you don't have a lot of pent up anger, and then you say ignite the flames, and now... you're talking about your anger. All right. I've been there. And you know what? Right around 27, it was weird. Up until 27, I was like, hey, I have a great life. I'm a happy guy. And I don't know what happened. I never thought I'd write into the podcast, but my anger this week required me to do so, even for therapy, regardless of whether you read this. I love art history. I love the stories behind the artist and the art and the evolution of it all. That's a really cool thing to be into. Like, I don't even know anything about that. And if you started talking about that, that would be fascinating. I think always like fucking cutting their ears off and, eating broth their whole life. And then they die. And then their paintings for some reason are worth $1 zillion because 5 people dictate that market. This artist died next door. Let's all buy it and say it's great. We have the ability to move the needle. Anyway, I've devoted my life to studying and appreciating it. When those self-righteous fools threw tomato soup on the Van Gogh to protest oil. Oh my God, why would they do that? What does Van Gogh have to do with oil? I, quote, lost my shit, as you would say. You absolutely should have. I truly despise the idea that destruction of something is justified because of some greater cause. It's also an excuses how so many people think they are good people, but they are not. Well, it's always like a good cause, or the result you want is good, but how you go about it. Anyway, ironically, their hair was dyed using oil-based chemicals, and their clothes required oil to make. They can't possibly believe that they'd make a difference. It's more just a way for them to feel special. Fuck them and all the righteous. Thanks for providing a voice for my internal anger. No problem. I wouldn't say fuck all the righteous. It's there's 2 things that are really combination. Okay, getting in a position of power and handling it in a healthy way is really difficult. And then rebelling against somebody not handling their power well and you doing that in the correct way is really difficult. Like, I would say like with that Me Too shit, right? Which obviously the goal of it was righteous and it was correct. But you saw how quickly it just sort of kind of went off the rails in sort of these wild examples of people that clearly were not what they were going after. And I just saw like I had a couple of friends or something, like they were just like innocent and they had to like get put on the bench for like 2 years because everyone was just afraid of like this new fucking movement rather than being like, no, you're 100% right. There shouldn't be abuse of power. These people shouldn't be doing this. Women shouldn't be afraid. All of a sudden, yeah, 100% agree with that. But that right there is not an example of that. People were too afraid to do that. So then innocent people start going underneath the fucking blades. But I'm not singling out Me Too because that seems to be the way it always seems to go. Like there's a problem, people want to address it, and that when in addressing it, that addressing gains momentum, it gains power, and whenever there's power, it attracts a certain type of person, and then they abuse it, and then people come out the other side going like, wait a minute, this wasn't what it was supposed to be about. What the fuck are we doing here? That happens all the time. So those people are, so I wouldn't say fuck all the righteous. I would say God bless anybody who is righteous and can keep your feet on the ground, and you don't get caught up in the money and horse that comes with being successful with something. One simplifying. I can't believe they did that. Van Gogh is one of the few artists that I actually know about, and I appreciate, a lot of this. My wife's really into that type of stuff, and I started going to it more, and the more I went to it, the more I started gaining like this appreciation of it. It was like, it's really interesting, and there's interesting people that go to it and all that type of stuff. And like any scene, there's, some douches that are just trying too hard to be interesting. But overall, I really liked it. But I don't know what tomato soup, Van Gogh to protest oil. That sounds like rich kids. Like who the fuck even knows who Van Gogh is before you're like 40? No, I knew. If he didn't cut his ear off, right? Or you know what it is? Like you heard the name, but you didn't. It's like Mozart, Beethoven. I've heard the names. If you played me their shit, I don't know who's who. You know what I mean? But you play AC/DC, Metallica. I'm like, that's AC/DC. That's Metallica. Every once in a while, I just go on a tangent, and I'm just like, wow, I am really dumb. Dear Billiam Burning Beard, I like that one. How are you? I'm a 30-year-old dude from Toronto. Great city. Great coffee in that city. I had a good time when I went there. And this person said, I've been listening to the podcast now for about 3 years now. Last night, me and a buddy drove to Windsor to see you live. We couldn't make the Toronto shows. We were not going to miss this one. Please tell me this. You had a good time. Everything was going great. You were killing. We were having a great time. And so happy to finally see you perform. Great. So you're doing your thing up there, and I noticed the woman beside me, who was clearly wasted, wasn't really feeling your brand of comedy, and she started making backhanded comments after all your jokes. I think it's a backhanded compliment. It's not a backhanded comment. This is what I'm the Pied Piper of fucking people who can't say an expression right. Anyway, she was bugging everyone around us to the point even the guy she was with was telling her to shut up repeatedly, which itself was getting super disruptive. So finally I had enough. I've been waiting forever for this show. I wasn't going to just sit there and put up with it, so I turn politely and I say, could you please stop talking? She looks me in the eye and like a 4-year-old says no. So I just roll my eyes, turn away, and try to focus on your show. 5 seconds later, what does she... You know what she does, Bill? She dumps her entire fucking beer in my lap. Oh, my God. And it's a woman, so there's like nothing you can do. I'm shocked and absolutely fucking livid. I just tried to focus my rage on the show because I didn't want to be disrupted. But then a few minutes later, she grabs my arm and says, I'm sorry, like a toddler who was forced to apologize. You know what that was probably because you didn't engage. And then she probably, maybe came to her senses. Anyway, so I soaked in this broad's beer and blinded with rage, looked her dead in the eyes and said, shut the fuck up. She gets all pissy and gets up, falling down drunk, calling me a bunch of homophobic shit, screaming, I said I was sorry. To which I say, fuck you. I just asked you to be quiet. You dumped your drink on me. She trades places with the guy she's with, who is repeatedly telling her, stop, you do this every time we go out. Now, what is this fucking guy doing? If you're going to stay with her, keep her home or put her on a leash. Anyway, the guy says, which is hilariously ironic considering not 10 minutes before that you did a bit about red flags. Oh, that's hilarious. Anyway, they're both arguing, being insanely disruptive. I tell them both to shut up. People are trying to watch, and then the fucking guy starts talking shit to me. Oh, God. And you know what's sad about all this? They probably have children. It's getting ridiculous, so I just focus because I don't want to cause an even bigger scene and really fuck up the show. Eventually, the woman gets up. Oh my God, this story is unbelievable. And leaves. And the guy immediately turns to me and said, I'm sorry, man. And starts talking to me about her. As sternly as I could say, dude, just let me watch the fucking show. My God, these people are fascinating. How stupid they are. That was the end of it. But now I'm trying to enjoy the last chunk of your show, shivering, covered in beer, trying to focus while the rage of this fuckery is just festering. Oh, and you got to drive all the way back to Toronto? Please tell me you got a hotel room. What calmed me down was thinking to myself, well, I'm going to write him and Andrew a letter tomorrow, and maybe if he trashes her on the podcast, it will all have been worth it. Oh, buddy, are you kidding me? I'm thinking of sending you something. The lights came on after the show, and it took everything in my power not to start talking shit to them, but I didn't feel like causing a big thing in a casino. She had painted on eyebrows and looked like a little trash clown from outer space, so I had some shots in the chamber, but what can you do? We just let them walk away with her carrying his balls in her purse. Anyway, fuck her and her childish attitude. Dude, I don't know how I could trash her any better than you're doing it. Anyway, fuck her and her childish attitude. At the end of the day, I still had an amazing time seeing you perform. Dude, you are a higher being, man. If you went through all of that and you're still feeling like you had an amazing time. He said, your story about the mushroom trip brought my mood right back to where it needed to be. I sincerely apologize for the disruption at your show and to anyone listening now who may have been there. That said, everyone we talked to around us after seemed to all be on our side. Why wouldn't they be? Absolutely love your work, bud. F is for Family is a work of art. Thank you for all the laughter you brought me through the pandemic. It's truly kept me going. Best wishes to you and the family, and go fuck yourself.